Okay, now in the previous video we have seen that a beam is a structural member which is subjected to transverse load. Now when the beam is subjected to transverse load, we came to know that there are two effects that are taking place on the beam. The first is there is a bending moment induced inside the beam, and the second is there is a shear force which is induced inside the beam. But the thing we need to understand here is whatever shear force or whatever bending moment is induced in the beam, that is not going to be same throughout the length of the beam. For example, if I consider this beam which is supported at its end at point A and point B, okay, and then it is subjected to load exactly at the center. When this beam is subjected to load W, there will be shear force and bending moment induced inside this beam. But that shear force, if I consider, it is not going to be same at all the cross section along the length of the beam. Okay, for example, after applying this load W, the whatever shear force is induced, that shear force will have different value at this section and it will have different value at this cross section. Similarly, it is going to have different value at this cross section, and it is going to have different value at all the cross sections along the length of the beam. Similarly, when I apply a load W, here I have taken it as P, but when I apply a load W, whatever bending moment is induced inside this beam, that bending moment is going to be different at different cross section. It will be different at this cross section, and different bending moment at this cross section, and different bending moment at this cross section. Then next question is what to do. Then what we need to do is we need to determine the cross section where the shear stress is maximum, and we also need to determine the cross section where the bending moment is maximum, because if bending moment is maximum, that is M, if we consider bending stress equation, sigma B is equal to bending moment M divided by moment of inertia into Y. If bending moment is maximum, then bending stress will also be maximum. Okay, because of that, whichever cross section is subjected to maximum bending moment, that cross section will also be subjected to maximum bending stress. When it is subjected to maximum bending stress, then if the beam fails, it will fail at that cross section where the bending moment is maximum. Similarly, if the beam fails because of the shear force or shear stress, then it will fail at that cross section only where the shear force is maximum. So such a cross section becomes critical cross section because it is subjected to maximum bending moment or it is subjected to maximum bending stress. Then how to determine which cross section is subjected to maximum bending moment and which cross section is subjected to minimum bending moment? That is done using a graphical method called as shear force diagram. You can see here, this is a shear force diagram for this beam and bending moment diagram. Okay, this is a bending moment diagram for this beam subjected to this load. Don't worry about how to draw this diagram. Let us focus on what this diagram tells us. Okay, what this diagram tells us is, okay, so what is shear force and bending moment diagram is, it is nothing but a graphical representation of shear force at different cross section. For example, if we consider this graph, okay, this is a zero line, which means that the shear stress on this line is 0. If we move towards upside away from this line, that means the higher we go, the higher is the value of shear stress in positive. And if we come below this zero line, then the shear stress is negative. Okay, the more down we go, the more is the value of shear stress. Now if you look at this diagram, you can see that at this cross section, okay, at this cross section, the value of shear force is minus W by 2. How we got the value of this value? Don't worry about it now itself. Okay, we can discuss it later. Then from here to up to this point, the value remains constant, that is minus W by 2. But as soon as we come to this cross section, then again the shear force value changes from minus W by 2 to plus W by 2. Then again from here it goes on up to this cross section in constant value, that is W by 2. Then from here it comes to 0. Now here you can see that the shear force at this section is minus W by 2, and at this section up to this point it is minus W by 2, and again it is raising to plus W by 2. So shear force is changing from one section to another section. Now if you come to this bending moment diagram, again for plotting this graph of bending moment at different cross section, first we need to draw a zero bending moment line. When we draw a zero bending moment line, then you can see that the graph is like this. It is varying linearly and the graph value is increasing as we move towards the center, and at the center it is maximum. Then again from this end, as we go towards the center, the value of bending moment is increasing. Since it is represented above this zero line, the bending moment is positive. The maximum bending moment you can see here is, the maximum bending moment is at this section, and the value is WL by 2. So this corresponding to this section, that is center section, this section is subjected to maximum bending moment. That means it is also subjected to maximum bending stress. So if the beam, if at all it fails, then it is going to fail at this cross section. So this cross section is called as critical cross section. So what this bending moment diagram is telling is how the value of bending moment changes from one section to another section. Here you can see at this cross section, that is nothing but the end cross section, bending moment value is 0. But as we move towards the center, the bending moment value is going on increasing. But what is important for us is the maximum value of bending moment. So shear force diagram gives us the value of shear force at different cross sections, and bending moment diagram gives us the value of bending moments at different cross sections. This is the importance of shear force diagram and bending moment diagram. Okay, we are going to discuss about how to plot the shear force diagram and bending moment diagram in further classes, but before that let us look into some of the basic concepts. In that, first concept is type of supports. What are supports? Supports are those structures which will support the beam. Okay, now if I consider this first example, first is a fixed support or cantilevered support, or also called as built-in support. Look at this diagram. Okay, this is a beam. This beam is supported at this point. That means beam is fixed into this support. Now what is important for this support is how many reactions does the support give. For that, what I'll do is I will apply a force P at an angle of theta with horizontal axis. Now since this applied load is at angle, it will get resolved into two categories. Along horizontal it will become P cos theta, and along vertical it will become P sin theta. Then how to know how many reactions are there in this support is, first look at this horizontal force. This horizontal force is applied in horizontal direction in left side. The direction is towards the left. This force is transferred onto the beam and then beam to the support. Okay, since the applied force is in left side direction, the reaction force of the beam, of the support onto the beam will be equal to this, but in opposite direction, that is in right side direction. So this is one reaction because of horizontal force, and there is one more force in vertical direction, that is P sin theta. What this vertical force is trying to do is, it is going to try and make this beam sheared off in downward direction. That is, it will try to cut this beam in downward direction from this support. But what this support will do, it will give equal and opposite reaction to this vertical force, that is P sin theta. Since P sin theta is acting in downward direction, the reaction force at this support will be in upward direction but in equal magnitude, that is p sine theta. Now apart from this, so now there are two reactions, one is horizontal reaction and one is vertical reaction. Apart from this, if you look at this p sine theta, this force is acting at this end, and also there is a perpendicular distance between the force and this support. So what this force is also going to do is it will try to create a clockwise movement, like this clockwise movement. It will try to create a clockwise movement, and that moment is given as p sine theta into perpendicular distance is L. Now since it is trying to create clockwise movement, there will be equal and opposite movement at this support, that will be anti-clockwise direction, and that movement is given by p sine theta force into perpendicular distance is L. So from now onwards, if you look at cantilever beam, then cantilever beam will be having three reaction. One is horizontal reaction, one is vertical reaction, and other is bending moment. Okay, so there are three reactions for cantilever beam. Then second type of support is, it is also called as hinge support or also called as pin support. There are two ways of representing the pin support. This is the one symbol, okay, where it is represented by a plate. Actually there are two plates parallel to each other, but when we look from the front view, it appears to be only one plate, and in between those plates there is a beam which is fixed, and then inside that plate, through the beam, a hole is drilled, and inside that hole a pin is inserted. Okay, so this is how the beam is held inside this support. Now other way of representation is also this way. Okay, this is the symbol, okay, for representing the pin support or hinge support. Now how many reactions are there for pin support? How to calculate is, again I am going to apply a force P on this end at an angle theta. This P will get resolved into P cos theta in horizontal direction and P sin theta in vertical direction. Now look at this force. This force is applied in left side direction. Because of this force, what happens is this support will not allow the beam to move towards left side. That means it is applying equal and opposite reaction force, that is given by P cos theta. Okay, then because of this there is a horizontal reaction. Then look at this, it is P sin theta. Okay, what this force will try to do is it will try to cut this beam in downward direction. It will try to move the beam in downward direction, but because of the support, the beam is not going in downward direction. So there will be equal and opposite reaction, that is in upward direction there will be a force of P sin theta. But now since there is a pin here, when I apply force P sin theta in vertical direction, and when this force will try to bend the beam in downward direction, this will not provide any resistance. Best example for this is doors. Okay, when we open the door or close the door, there will be a hinge at the door. That type of support is nothing but hinge support. Now when you are trying to pull the door up and down in vertical direction, we cannot move the door up and down. That means there will be reaction force. Or if you try to pull the door in horizontal direction, completely pull it off, you cannot able to pull it off in horizontal direction also. But if you try to twist the door, like if you want to open the door or close the door, then you can easily do it. Okay, the door will not resist. Similarly here, since there is a pin here, okay, if you try to bend the beam, you can be able to bend the beam. That means there is no resistance. There is no resistance to the movement. So similar to this movement, there will be no movement here. Okay, so only there are two reactions. One is vertical reaction and other is horizontal reaction. There is no movement at this support. So there are only two reactions. Now coming back to third type of support, it is called as roller support. Okay, the symbol for representing this roller support is this one. You can use this symbol, or also you can use just a circular roller. That doesn't mean in practical situation also the roller support looks like this itself. Okay, practical situation may be different, but for representing, the roller support is represented in this manner. Okay, now how many reactions are there in roller support? To understand that, again I am going to apply a force P at an angle theta. This P will be resolved into P cos theta in horizontal direction and P sin theta in vertical direction. First look at this. P cos theta is applying a force on this beam in left side direction. But as soon as I apply this force, because of this roller, this support will not resist the moment. As soon as I apply force in left side direction, this beam will move along the left side direction. You can see here also, when I push this beam in left side direction, then it will easily move in left side direction. Okay, best example is our wheelchair. You apply force in left side direction, it will not resist any moment. But similarly, when I apply force on vertical direction, that is P sin theta, what this force will try to do is it will try to push this beam downward. Okay, total beam it will try to push it downward, but because of the support, this beam cannot move in downward direction. If you consider chair, if you try to apply force in downward direction, then it will not go any further down. Okay, because there is resistance from the surface, okay, from the ground. Similarly, because of that resistance, whatever force is applied, same reaction force is applied but in upward direction. Then third is moment. How we are going to get the moment is because of this P sin theta and because of the vertical perpendicular distance from this end to this support, that is length of the beam. Okay, what this bending moment will try to do, it will try to bend the beam in downward direction. I am telling bending the beam, that means this end will be here itself, but it is going to bend like this. Okay, now if you look at this, it is similar to the hinge support. It is not going to resist any bending moment. When you apply force, it will get easily bent. Okay, since it is not resisting, there will not be any reaction moment. So in general, I can say that there is only one reaction, that is in vertical direction. For you, it is important to remember the number of reactions for different support and how it is represented. Okay, for roller support, the reaction is only one in vertical direction, and this is the representing symbol. And then for hinge support, number of reactions are two. One is horizontal, one is vertical direction. And then for cantilever support, there are three reactions. One is horizontal, second is vertical, and third is moment.